Have you ever craved Malaysian street food? The smoky satay, crispy roti, or steamy bowls of laksa? From bustling night markets in Kuala Lumpur to roadside stalls in Penang, these flavors have seduced travelers from across the globe. But behind the sizzle and spice lies a truth that's far less appetizing. This isn't just about flavor. It's about hygiene, deception, and the disturbing realities few dare to talk about. Let's take a closer look. Dirty secrets lurking in Malaysia's street food scene. Malaysia's street food culture is vibrant, rich, and unapologetically bold. It's also, unfortunately, shockingly unregulated. Beneath the mouth-watering visuals, you'll find a chaotic system built on loopholes, improvisation, and cost-cutting at the expense of cleanliness. And while many stalls are run by passionate cooks who care about their food, a disturbing number of vendors operate in environments that would make even the most adventurous eater lose their appetite. Nasi lemak, wrapped in banana leaves, garnished with grime. Nasi lemak is Malaysia's national dish, fragrant coconut rice served with sambal, anchovies, peanuts, and egg. It's often sold pre-packed in banana leaves on roadside stalls or motorbike baskets. But here's the stomach-turning twist. Those eco-friendly banana leaves, they're rarely washed. Studies have found traces of dirt, bacteria, and even animal feces on these leaves. Why? Because vendors reuse them or pluck them straight from the ground without proper cleaning. And while the aroma may draw you in, what you don't see is the sweaty towel being used to wipe hands, utensils, and sometimes the food itself. Lok, communal boiling, or bacterial soup. Lok is one of Malaysia's most interactive street foods. Diners choose skewers of meats, seafood, or vegetables and dip them into boiling water to cook. Sounds safe, right? Not quite. In many street setups, the water is never replaced, only topped up. By night's end, that pot becomes a bubbling cesspool of dropped food bits, bacteria, and questionable substances. Some researchers have found dangerous bacteria like E. coli thriving in these communal vats, especially when the boiling temperature isn't consistently maintained. Delicious? Maybe. Disgusting? Definitely. Roti canai, a breakfast favorite, flipped with filthy hands. Roti canai is a staple Malaysian breakfast made by hand-stretching dough and flipping it mid-air. But this theatrical preparation hides a revolting fact. Some vendors never wash their hands. Some reuse cooking oil for days, turning the frying pan into a pool of oxidized, health-threatening grease. The dough? Often left uncovered and kneaded in areas swarming with flies. It may look like comfort food, but one bite may come with a helping of germs. Char kway teow, wok hei, with a side of rat droppings. Char kway teow is all about wok hei, the magical breath of the wok. But when that breath comes from a filthy alley filled with roaches and rats, you might want to hold yours. Many stalls use low-grade soy sauces and MSG-heavy seasoning to mask the sourness of spoiled ingredients, especially shellfish. Noodles sit exposed in open trays for hours, covered in dust or insects. And in some rural markets, vendors cook under makeshift tents, with no water supply, no sink, and definitely no soap. Sendal and ice kacang, sweet, colorful, and contaminated. Those icy Malaysian desserts, sendal and ice kacang, may cool you down on a hot day. But behind the shaved ice and rainbow syrups lies a chilling truth. Large blocks of industrial ice are stored next to trash bins, broken up using rusted tools and handled without gloves. The syrups? Often made from cheap artificial coloring banned in other countries. A 2022 report by a consumer safety group found that ice from 8 out of 10 stalls in Klang Valley had unsafe levels of coliform bacteria. Satay, smoky meat on skewers, grilled on rust, who doesn't love satay? Marinated meat grilled on charcoal and served with spicy peanut sauce. But next time you enjoy one, look at the grill. Really look. Many of these portable grills are never properly cleaned. The metal is rusted, and food debris from the previous day still clings to the surface. Worse, the meat is sometimes stored in unrefrigerated buckets for hours before being cooked, giving bacteria time to flourish. And the peanut sauce? It's often made in bulk days in advance, left unrefrigerated in plastic containers, and served over and over until it runs out. Penang laksa, fish broth, with a filthy reputation. Penang's famous asam laksa has won international praise. But that fragrant fish-based broth has a darker side. In open-air stalls, vendors leave the broth simmering all day and all night, with ingredients sitting uncovered in the heat. Spoons are reused, dropped, and dipped back in. And the fish? Often from wet markets where it's stored on slabs with no ice and left to rot slowly in tropical humidity. The result? A dish that tastes tangy and sour, for all the wrong reasons. Fried chicken and pisang goreng, deep-fried in toxic oil. At roadside food trucks, fried snacks like crispy chicken and banana fritters are wildly popular, but the oil they're cooked in? Black, sticky, and reused so many times it becomes toxic. Some vendors admit they only change their oil once a week, or not at all unless customers complain. Overheated oil breaks down into dangerous compounds like acrylamide, which has been linked to cancer. It may smell good, but your arteries and your gut might not agree. The rats, roaches, and reality of night markets, Malaysia's night markets, pasar malam, are tourist magnets, but after dark, hygiene goes blind. Many stalls are set up on the fly, without access to clean water, proper waste disposal, or refrigeration. You'll find raw chicken stored next to fresh vegetables. You'll see water used for washing hands also used to rinse cups and bowls. And worst of all, the trash that piles up right behind the stalls, attracting rodents, insects, and disease. A 2021 sting operation in Selangor exposed over 150 stalls operating without food handling permits, many with expired ingredients and visible rat nests nearby. Teh tarik, pulled tea or pulled from the gutter. Teh tarik, Malaysia's national drink, is known for its frothy top and dramatic pouring style, but that mesmerizing high pour often masks a troubling reality. Many street vendors use condensed milk cans repurposed as storage containers, never washed, just refilled. Worse, the tea is sometimes brewed in aluminum kettles blackened with grime, and the cups? Quickly rinsed in murky tubs of water used all day. In undercover footage, some stalls were caught using dishcloths so filthy they could stand up on their own. You came for the caffeine, but left with coliform. The reuse culture. Recycling or just reckless? Sustainability is one thing. Reusing plastic containers, utensils, and trays without proper sanitation is another. Some vendors proudly wash and reuse plastic cutlery dozens of times, often in a single bucket of lukewarm, greasy water. Paper wrappers are sometimes salvaged from bins, flattened, and used again. Even the chili sauces and pickled condiments placed on tables are rarely replaced, just topped up, day after day. It's less about saving the planet, and more about cutting corners, no matter the health cost. Street burgers and sausages. What's really inside that meat? They smell amazing, they're cheap, they're everywhere. But those sizzling street burgers and sausages sold at night markets across Malaysia might just be the most horrifying thing you've ever willingly eaten. Behind the smoky grill hides a Frankenstein mix of expired frozen patties, unregulated meat imports, and mystery ingredients ground into paste. Many vendors buy meat so cheap, it costs less than cabbage. How? Because it's not always beef or chicken. In some cases, it's mechanically separated meat, meaning bones, cartilage, and scraps blasted off animal carcasses, formed into patties with chemical binders. Even more disturbing, a 2020 food lab test in Johor found pork DNA in burgers labeled halal. Another batch tested positive for rat meat. No labels, no regulation, just sauce, onions, and lies on a bun. Still hungry? When culture becomes an excuse for contamination. Some defenders say, it's part of our heritage. But is filth a tradition worth preserving? Romanticizing dirt under the banner of authenticity isn't just dangerous, it's irresponsible. Tourists may find it charming, but locals are the ones paying the price, literally, with hospital bills and food poisoning outbreaks. In a country proud of its culinary diversity, it's time to ask, why is cleanliness still optional? Malaysia's food authorities, overwhelmed or overlooking. The Malaysian Ministry of Health has issued guidelines, run campaigns, and even launched hygiene grading systems for stalls. But enforcement remains weak. Many vendors continue to operate unlicensed, untrained, and unchecked, especially in rural areas or weekend pop-ups. And while health officials occasionally swoop in for inspections, the reality is that many of the dirtiest stalls reopen the next day, unchanged. It's a game of cat and mouse. And the mouse? Sometimes it ends up in the stew, solutions that still aren't happening. Hygiene certification should be mandatory, not decorative. Inspections should be regular and unannounced. Vendors need access to affordable training and proper storage equipment. And most importantly, consumers must stop tolerating filth. Conclusion: taste the culture, not the contamination. Malaysia's street food has soul, but it also has a hygiene crisis. Behind the clinking woks and sizzling skewers lies a dangerous truth, that what you don't see can hurt you. It's not about killing street food, it's about saving it. Clean food can still be delicious, but dirty food dressed up in nostalgia? That's not culture, that's carelessness. If this video made you rethink your last street food trip, don't just scroll, share it. Let's start a conversation. Should we still glorify the grit in our food? Or is it time to demand better? Like, comment, and subscribe. Because here at Food Gear, we expose the secrets others won't touch.